Yeah, hi. I'm Soham Purkait. I'm from Kolkata. I'm in Indian Statistical Institute, Kolkata right now. I am in BStat first year of ISI Kolkata. I got an All India rank of 20 in ISI entrance test, 55 in WPJ, and 99.89 percentile in JEE Mains, and 265 in JEE Advanced. So actually, from my initial days of preparation, I was very much fond of mathematics, and also because I did well in Olympiads. Also, I got a good exposure of the subject, so I was very much attracted towards it, and I wanted to pursue a career that is well rounded with it. And IIT and ISI also was well aligned with it, so I choose to prepare for it. Yeah, actually, the preparation mostly is aligned on self studies, and the teachers also helped us a lot. But you yourself has to do a lot of effort to ace in the exams. Actually, during my preparation, the biggest challenge was COVID because we had to do a preparation in online mode. So we didn't have much flexibility or kind of refreshment of going out or to meet with other peers. So that was the biggest challenge, I think, because all we had to do is online. So we didn't had much one to invigilate us. So we had that challenges to do that on our own. Yeah, I would like to highlight that in JEE mains, in my preparation, I almost emphasized on NCRT most in the last few days because it was like for a hidden gem in JEE mains for chemistry, and also in JEE advanced the questions, the inorganic and the informative questions are mostly from NCRT. So NCRT is very essential, very much essential for in JEE in chemistry, but in maths, it's basically for a base building. Apart from it, you have to do some other modules also. And in physics also, the theoretical part you have to cover in NCRT because in JEE there are some theoretical chapters. The questions came directly from NCRT. And in advance also some of the theoretical questions sometimes come from JEE advance. So mostly chemistry has a very much weightage in NCRT, and in physics it also has a decent, but in maths it doesn't have a much more impact, I think, according to me. Yeah, actually in physics, I also had initially the problem to uh, go through the big questions. So for that, I used to read a lot. So I started developing reading capability so that I don't face any problem in exams for reading the paragraph type questions or lengthy questions. So started emphasizing on increasing my reading capability. Apart from that, in I used to practice a lot in physics for numericals, and there are some core concepts that I used to revise on regular basis. That helped me a lot in exam to get a reflex on the concepts that I didn't had to actually memorize. That it was like actually it was a reflex kind of thing that if you do practice a lot, it gets embedded and you know what to do, right? And for the reading capability, I used to read NCRTs more, and sometimes I used to read other theoretical books like H.C. Verma's. It has some theories also, so I used to refer them for enhancing my reading capability. And as far as the books are concerned, I used to refer in at initial days H.C. Verma. After that, I used to for problem solving, I used to refer Shashi Bhushan Tiwari for advanced physics, and the books Physics Galaxy also I used to refer. And I also read Physics Galaxy for enhancing my reading capability. Actually, in chemistry, I used Neeraj Kumar and Narendra Avasthi for physical. Initially, used to do Narendra Avasthi. Later, I used to do Neeraj Kumar in physical chemistry. After that, for organic, I completely rely on MS Sohan. I did it completely and several times. I didn't do any other book. And for uh, inorganic part, I did VK Jaswal. and some of the previous year questions I used to refer for inorganic, and for inorganic I used to make proper notes, so that I can go through in regular basis, because if I had to go through the notes in regular basis, there is a must need for the notes. And in case of organic also, I organized my notes at the starting days of my preparation, so that I can go through it at regular basis, because without the notes I couldn't actually refer to the notes at a regular intervals. So I made a proper notes for organic and inorganic, and I used to go through that at a regular interval. So at the end of the preparation days, I was well acquainted with all the concepts. And actually, in maths, I used to do JEE mathematics from very beginning of my JEE preparation. So it was much stronger at my end. At first, I used to focus on Olympiads, and that helped me a lot in JEE preparation also. After that, in case of JEE preparation, I used to refer to books like Tata Macro Hills and Emil Khanna, and the several books, Arihant and Sengage also I referred, but I didn't do any of them, the whole chapters. I used to go through them. The questions that are suspicious that may need time, I used to do that. And the questions that were obvious, I didn't do that. So, but I did a lot of practice at regular intervals also. And I also did a mathematics book series by Gajendra Kumar. That helped also. That was a very decent book also. I did that too. Acha, in case of chemistry, that was mostly the parts were the parts were actually itself were questions. So it I didn't find any much difficulty in chemistry actually in handling such questions. But and also in case of mathematics, the question I had done a lot of practices and aligned to the resources that I had mentioned. They have such kind of questions. So I had exposure in such kind of questions. So and my teachers also guided me in such question, gave us such questions, so we are well acquainted with that. So after practicing, we didn't had much difficulty in exams to recognize them. It was we used to break it to 2 3 parts and did it independently, because that helped us a lot. And in case of multiple choice questions also, if we did it do it like that way, we can at least do some of the options that were obvious, and if and save our times also. And apart from that, in physics, I will like to tell that mainly strengthen the mechanics part in the start of the preparation, and in later also that helped us a lot in solving the multi-concept questions, because mechanics was playing a vital role in such kind of questions, and the major chunks like thermodynamics and electrostatics, electrodynamics, they were also I mean, a very big chapter. So we used to strengthen that part, and in any questions, we first used to recognize that what to do and break the questions. So thus we used to do the questions. Actually, as a whole part of the whole 2 years, we used to see the syllabus in 5 to 6 major topics. So we didn't distinguish it as class-wise topics. So I think that that helps a lot, because when you are going through the whole syllabus at one time, it doesn't let you forget the other things, because when you are going through the syllabus or doing your preparation, you will always be revising the older portions, because suppose I had done one portion and I am starting one new portion, so I would have revised the other part that has been done. I would revise that in regular intervals, so that I get well acquainted, and after regular intervals we actually appeared in tests, so that also helped us for revision. Yeah, so ideally the time should be equally divided, but it wasn't the case. Actually, in some cases, the physics chapters are well prepared by you, so you can give relatively less time in physics. You have to do is you have to devote much more time that you are weak in initial days of preparation, and in the last days of preparation you have to do much more in your strongest one. So that was the way in my preparation. I used to give a slightly in theoretical part. I used to do a slightly much more time in chemistry, and in physics and mathematics I mainly focused on problem solving. I actually did 2 to 3 hours of session for problem solving from a particular. I had a regular interval of targets that I will do this from this one, this one, this one. So I used to follow them. Actually, in the leisure time, actually, at first I used to spend time with my family. I used to talk with them. That really made really freshens me up. And apart from that, I used to talk to my friends about other stuffs like not around the studies, not around the group studies. That is different. But in the leisure time, I used to talk to my friends like relative to other things, because in lockdown we had a lot of things to talk about, right? So in the leisure time, yeah, I mainly used to talk to them, because we didn't have the scope to go out and play actually. So we used to indulge in mainly in conversations. That is all. Yeah, yeah, there are some time the when you will feel that the numbers are low, because at that time you just need to I need to do that. I used to analyze my paper a lot, because out of anxiety, I don't know, but I used to analyze the paper a lot. I mean, one day full or 2 days, I used to analyze the paper, that why I lag. So that apart from that, not only reduced my stress, but also it helped me to improve myself. So whenever you are low, you should analyze that why you are low and why you are going through that phase. Yeah, because there will be some reason that that chapter is not strong of yours. I used to refer to my teachers that those are not such strong chapters, so please give me some seat or some problems, or give me some resources that I can refer, and in chapters which I am not that confident, I was not that confident, I used to refer to the books from very scratch, that what they were trying to do, what was the motto, and I used to do that from the very start, so that I can get a good grasp of that. So thus I used to motivate myself. Yeah, actually JEE mains, the students who are willing to do, they should actually first focus on NCRT. As I had mentioned that in chemistry part, all you need is the maximum you need is NCRT. And apart from that, in other subjects also, you should first refer to your NCRT books. And after that, you should go for problem solvings and clearing of the of your concepts. And also, I didn't mention that in there is a particular syllabus also for JEE preparation, so you should not go beyond that. You should do extra things, but you should not go beyond that. You should do problems that is around that syllabus only. Yeah, actually, the mistake I would like to mention first, that you should have a proper time management in the exam itself, because and you should be consistent for 3 hours, because you have to give the exam in 3 hours, and you should have the habit to sit 3 hours. So that was the problem in initial days, and also in the first J mains of mine. So I after that I used to sit for 3 hours straight, whatever I was doing, uh, and in re-advance also that helped me a lot. After that, the mistake I would like to mention, that you should not focus on in any topic that is outside of your syllabus. You should be precise to your syllabus only. There are certain things that are outside your syllabus and that are taught in several ways, but you should not be indulged in them at initial days. You should know them for your better understanding, but at the end of the day you will have to stick to your syllabus only. and also you have to be consistent in your whole preparation. There may be ups and downs, but you should have to be consistent. And in the last days of preparation also, actually we had several notification, because and our exam dates got changed 4 to 5 times. So at that stage of time, you have to be consistent with your preparation actually. So that will help a lot. Yeah, actually, uh, if you start from class ninth, you'll not read. I think no one starts JEE from class ninth. From class ninth, everyone focuses on other stuffs like at our times NTSC and Olympiads and KVPI. So actual JEE preparation starts in class 11th and 12th. That is extensive and must stick to the syllabus that starts from 11th and 12th. And I think 2 years is much enough for that preparation. After before that, you can build a foundation and get a exposure to other subjects olympiads that will help you a lot. But if you are not in class 9th and 10th, it is okay, and you can start from 11th and 12th and exchange the JEE exam. I would like to say that that all you have to stick is that there will be ups and downs in your preparation, but you'll have to push your limits and go out of your comfort zone. That will help you, because if you are comfortable with your situation, you must push you, otherwise you cannot get the desired result. You have to push yourself and be consistent throughout your preparation to get a good rank. I used to give test on alternate days at the last 30 days. Uh, or I think at the last 2 days I didn't attempt any exam. But before that, last 1 month, I used to attempt exams on alternate days. And also, I used to the day after the alternate between the alternate days, I used to analyze them, and I had made short notes, and I used to refer to them whenever I was stuck. And I used to do some basic revision that is needed, that I needed to go through that in case of inorganic also. I had short notes and I used to go through them. At the first, the frequency of test was very I mean, at the first the tests were not very much specific, because you have done very small chapters also. So the scores of the whole batch used to be very high, but for some reason the score used to be very low at the 12 the quarter past 12. That stage I noticed that the scores were was at its low. Like I used to score in the JEE mains, I used to score like 210, 2000, 220 something, where I used to score 260, 270s, or even 280 to 90s in the prior test. So after that, I tried to modify myself and upgrade myself in case of in perspective of the scores. So I used to upgrade that, and at the end of the test, I used to refer to the tests that are more exam centric, and that was like 260s, 270s in average. So in some days I used to do very good, and in some days I also did 240s like that. And in JEE Advanced there was not specific uh, uh, marks, but in percentage wise, I had an average of 50 to 60% throughout, but it had I slightly increased at the last days of preparation. So that's actually I wanted to go in this college from very beginning of my childhood. I mean, in class 9th, 10th, I desired to go to this college, because here you get a good exposure of mathematics, and the seniors are very much helpful here. The campus is very greenery, and I like them, and the professors are much more interactive and they are more involved with you. So overall, I have a very good experience. Yeah, actually, if you are from that background, so you don't need to have to bother, because we have numerous friends here, and also in ITs also they are from that background, and Actually, if you start your preparation with honesty and in the components that I had told, that you have to be consistent and have to push your limits and do the right choice of your resources, and you have to abide by your mm, teachers also. So if you do all this, you will definitely, yes, there is nothing that you'll have to have the best type of modules or something. There they are, the questions came from NCRTs and other basic books. So you have to go through all them. As the syllabus is big, people used to lack there. So if you are passionate and you gave your 100% or 90% throughout your journey, you will definitely, yes. The students whose exams are approaching, I would like to say that please focus on your uh, strongest parts. Don't focus on the parts which you have never touched. That would unnecessarily create mess. If there are theoretical chapters, you can go through them. Like in JEE main topics, there are some JEE main topics, you can go through them. But if you have some big chunks that you have not covered, don't cover that in the last days. Just cover your strongest parts and be consistent with your test, and try to sit at spans like in 3 hour span or 2 hour to 2.5 hour span, so that you don't lose your concentration in the exam. And those who start your preparation, just try to be consistent, because at first you will all will do good, and after that some will the motivation degrades, and they don't do that much regularly. So be regular and consistent. You will, at the end, you will definitely ace it.